This episode of RevTalks, we're joined by John McCulley, founder of Mac2 Strategy. How are you doing today, John?
Doing pretty well, Mason.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you for being here. And can you give us a high-level overview of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So by day, I run a software company that does medical transportation software as part of one of the largest ambulance companies in the world. And then I also own Mac2 Strategy, which is a consulting company that's focused on AI software plays and helping people automate their businesses in meaningful, systematic ways. And then I'm a co-founder at Mojo Software, where we build CRM products for the business system space.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're involved in a lot of technical side roles.
I learned a long time ago as an engineer that if I don't stay busy doing something that's meaningful to others, I'll just build one thing forever and ever and ever and never solve anything.
Yeah, makes sense. So, John, you lead operations at healthcare tech companies by day and build on the side. So what's the itch that keeps you building outside the day job?
Yeah, so I started out in software engineering 22 years ago. And I've always seen in businesses where systematic principles are concerned, there's always software that can lead the way. So if you look at systems like Salesforce and like anything that Microsoft does with Dynamics or other large systems, a lot of them are too bloated for your average small business. So what keeps me building is really just solving things for businesses that were my size when I started several years ago and couldn't afford the Salesforces and couldn't afford the Dynamics and couldn't afford these large, big brand systems. I wanted to build systems for people that could afford customized operations that would do exactly what they need to do.
Awesome. So essentially, you're building platforms for smaller businesses that can't really afford these expensive grade and enterprise tools and still giving them a very dialed in and custom streamlined experience within their platform to make their entire job easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're talking about your average blue collar worker that's doing plumbing or electrical and needs a CRM system. There's not anything great out there for it, or needs something that'll run their content on the side. And they can't yet jump up to hiring a marketing agency or a PR firm. And we can do some automatic generation and scheduling for them to keep them going. All the way up to the finance firm that needs to run their notes through certain different features to understand if the client is prepared to buy their products and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's awesome. And John, your whole thesis is the bottleneck is never the tool, it's a missing system. So what's the most common bottleneck you find when you walk into a business?
Usually when I'm doing consulting or coaching, it's that people don't understand who their client really is. They're just chasing dollars and cents. And that's how most people start a business. They're chasing a figure that was derived from a dream they had. And they said, you know what? I'm out here doing this thing for this other person. I could go do this thing on my own and I could make way more money doing it because I am the expert. The problem is when you're the expert, you try to become the manager and you try to be the person that markets the business and you don't systematize that and create systems around how to do it correctly, you'll just continue throwing darts at the air. It's every Facebook post you've ever seen in a forum that says, hey, who does your ads? Who's doing a good job? Things like that. If you had a system built around what you're chasing, it'd be easy to find a vendor to help you out or to do it on your own. But most people don't do that. They want to be the expert at what they do, which is great. And they need to do that, but they don't have any systems to drive the things that actually keep the money in the business and make the money.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially you're building the entire solution around them as a founder to make their processes streamlined so they can actually do their job on a daily basis rather than having to manage everything without a process behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the part of the consulting is going in and helping them understand how to use a system that makes sense to them. Early in my life, I learned that the software can solve problems, but if it doesn't make sense and it's not usable by the person that needs to solve the problem, then it's never going to work. They're going to pay a lot of money for something they can never use. So a lot of it is designing the system to work through their workflow, because your average person that has a really good product or is offering a really good service and is differentiating themselves from the market, they're not going to be able to use some cookie cutter piece of software or some cookie cutter solution. They're going to need to integrate in a way that customizes it for them.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially making a platform that the founder and the employees that are working there are actually going to use, rather than something that's like a one-time build and then sits and they don't even understand how to use it.
Absolutely right.
Got it. And so, John, you've also built 2 live SaaS products, 50 and 1 done for nonprofits and CRM. So how did those come out of the consulting work?
Yeah, so 501 and Done is actually a really cool product. We do a lot of work with nonprofits, my wife and my family and I, and being on boards over the last 10 or 12 years, I saw the same niche that your average nonprofit that's got $1 million budget, they again can't buy these larger systems. They're trying to use GiftButter, they're trying to use Zephy, they're trying to use QuickBooks. And your average executive director needs to tie everything together in something they can use, but they can't all afford an executive director or a creative director, so on and so forth. So we came up with a solution that works as a SaaS product for nonprofits. They pay a yearly fee and we plug in their GitButter or their Zephy and their QuickBooks and their goals for the year. And we use a little bit of artificial intelligence, but a little bit of constructive voicing and rules engine to give them reports and dashboards that can help them actively run their nonprofit without needing the help of another creator or another director or another manager.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're a nonprofit as it is. So they're not bringing in tons and tons of revenue. So for them to actually hire somebody that's going to actually manage this stuff or build it out themselves is likely out of the scope and expensive. So essentially, you're saying that you built a solution around that to help them.
Absolutely. We're basically using the system to replace three lower level employees that would have to do this reporting. And that product just launched a few months ago and got a few clients on it that are doing pretty well. And we're really excited about it.
Awesome. And you run your own business on an AI operating system that you built yourself. So what does that actually mean day to day?
Yeah. So when I started my company, I had the same problem that I'd been solving through coaching for several years. And of course, just like everybody in the market, we're really invested in AI and doing a lot of AI strategy. And I know how to write the content. I know how to create it, but hosting it when you're a person who runs multiple different endeavors, you're running operations at a company, plus you're running your own businesses and your SaaS products. It just wasn't in the cards. And I thought to myself, hey, I'll hire somebody. I looked into that and I'm still at the point where I may eventually do that, but I thought I can automate some things for now. So I built the first divisional OS for my company that it runs my social media. It's helping me launch my book right now, but it's also reading meaningful metrics and giving me warnings every single day just to let me know where I need to go next. Follow-ups. It's connected to the CRM product we talked about earlier, while you were out. So it tells me when to follow up. It helps me keep my day-to-day straight with clients and just a really good organizational system. It's like having a personal assistant on steroids.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, having all of your tasks organized, especially as a business owner like yourself that has so many different endeavors, must be very important, especially for staying organized and just growth in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a person. I have a relatively high focus rate. Sometimes I can hyper focus, but I get scattered like any other engineer. So I need external structure, and I prefer to use tools to do that. And I built this one to do it the way I need to do it, just like I would do it for anybody else.
Awesome. And you've also got 2 SaaS products, a book coming, and a whole suite of offers. How are people finding all of that right now?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel, Mac2 Strategy, that I post videos on at least once a month just to talk about the products. We're on the Gumroad app. We sell our Notion products and things like that on there. And basically, the Notion products are kind of your entry level into what we do to get yourself organized without having to get one of the SaaS products. I do partner with another person on a couple of those SaaS products as well. So we are getting those out in the market and we're doing some sales on social media. And of course, we're running advertising campaigns like everyone else. And then of course, the book, we just finished it. It launches on August 3rd. Excited to get that out the door. It's 22 years worth of how I created momentum in my business and with my coaching clients and in my career and with my family, my kids, my wife, and just kept it all together. So we're pretty excited to get that out the door.
Awesome. And it sounds like your entire businesses have been surrounded by the fact that you struggled with this pain yourself, and now you're taking this pain and helping others that have experienced the same thing solve it themselves. So you've also got the book out on August 3rd. So what does the rest of 2026 look like for you and Mac2?
So we're going to be promoting the book. And of course, with the day job, we're in more and more facilities every single day. So we have, our flagship product, On Demand Connect, is in hospitals nationwide, and we're launching, growing. So the rest of 2026, just growth for me. It's all exactly what's in that book, which is momentum. It's moving every step, every pattern, everything that we have on this list forward. every single day, teaching other people how to do it.
Awesome. John, this has been great. So where can people find you? What's your company website and your LinkedIn?
Yeah, Mac2strategy.com, MACK2strategy.com, and LinkedIn at Mac2strategy. You can find us on there and get all the information about even our free programs. We offer a free AI course on how to train your AI voicing and get your business up and running. You don't even need to hire us for coaching for that. But of course, if you want to hire us for coaching, we have entrepreneurial engagements at several different levels that we'd love to talk to anybody about. And of course, you can catch me on Instagram at Johnny Mac Codes, where I talk more about my family and my friends and my life, and just generally have a good time.
Awesome. And are those like front end offers, like low end offers that people can get started with easily and then kind of use it themselves to implement and then grow into building like bigger stuff?
Absolutely. The whole goal of our program and our coaching program is to give the small business an entry level into the world of artificial intelligence and automation in a meaningful way where they don't have to pay a bunch of money. Now, if they have the capital and they want to get us to do it for them and coach them, we're happy to do it. But our goal is to give back as much as possible with the knowledge that we've been given so that hopefully we can give back a meaningful number of low cost and free items to those that are starting out.
Awesome. John, thank you for joining us on RevTalks today and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.